Reading Bulletin. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com. This is all the Superman related news that happened during the week January 13th to January 19th, 2012. In movie news, Michael Shannon, who is playing Zod in the upcoming Man of Steel movie, told the LA Times that he's completely baffled by fans, saying, "There are legions of fans salivating who will literally spend the next year and a half looking at the clock waiting for this movie. That's just the way it is." Don't know why he's baffled. Seems completely normal to me. Warner Brothers announced that the West Coast premiere of Justice League Doom will take place in Los Angeles on February 16th. Filmmakers and members of the voice cast will attend the event for red carpet media interviews and a post-screening panel discussion hosted by the Times Hero Complex writer Jeff Boucher. A limited number of free tickets are available for the general public. Fans in the Los Angeles city area wishing to receive free tickets to the LA event must RSVP via email to jldoomla@yahoo.com. Email RSVPs must include the fan's first and last name and a valid email address. The Superman homepage will be there to cover the events for everyone else who can't be there. Jack O'Halloran, who played Non in the Superman movies, was our special guest on this past week's edition of Radio KAL Live. He was a fascinating person to speak to, answering fan questions live on the air, and even spilling the beans on a physical altercation he had with Christopher Reeve during filming. It's definitely worth a listen. Check it out at the Superman homepage now. It was a Black Friday for Gene Hackman on January 13th as the Oscar-winning actor was hit by a car while riding his bicycle. His publicist downplayed the incident, saying, "Gene's fine, just a few bumps and bruises." The actor, best known to Superman fans as Lex Luthor from the Christopher Reeve films, will turn 82 on January 30th. We wish him a speedy recovery. In TV news, we posted not one but two long-awaited reviews of Smallville The Complete Series DVD box set, with Superman homepage writers Mark Pritchard and Morton Bay both loving this 62-disc collection. Come read their in-depth reviews at the website now. DC Entertainment revealed a new brand identity this week. A new logo for DC Comics was also introduced, closely aligning with DC Entertainment's new mark. The new identity will begin to appear on comic books and graphic novels, as well as new websites in March. Consumers will also see the new identity rolled out over time on other DC Entertainment products from Warner Brothers, including film, television, interactive games and merchandise. DC Comics released their April 2012 solicitations this week. We highlighted for you all the Superman comics listed. Of special note was Action Comics number 8, which is the epic 30-page conclusion of Grant Morrison's opening storyline. The Man of Steel goes toe-to-tentacle with the all-new Brainiac for the final fate of Metropolis. While in Superman number 8, we'll see just how Hellspawn has bent the Man of Steel to his will. Check out the full list of April comics at the Superman homepage now. Superman comic books we reviewed this week included Superboy number 5, which was reviewed by Adam DeChanel, who gave it a 2 out of 5, saying, "The mystery elements and the series of lies told to Superboy and us are getting incredibly tedious." While Jeffrey Taylor reviewed DC Universe Online Legends number 21, also rating it a 2 out of 5, saying, "I'm awarding an extra point for letting us move on to what I can only hope will be a much better climactic ending to the whole story." Superman comics available this week from January 18th include Supergirl number 5, Young Justice number 12, and Superman War of the Superman trade paperback.
Let's raise our glasses to the first and best superhero of them all, Superman! This week we have a selection of drinking glasses featuring Superman and many of his friends from the DC Universe. There are pint glasses, shot glasses, and tumblers with varying designs to choose from, like the Superman Cape logo pint glass for only $10.99. Buy yours at your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop.
In other news, a new iOS app called Lego Hero Factory is now available with all new free digital comics. The free downloadable app, created by DC Entertainment and sponsored by Lego Systems, is available in the App Store and includes kid-friendly digital comics, including Young Justice and Supergirl Cosmic Adventures in the 8th grade. That's all the Superman news there was for the week January 13th to January 19th. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, I'm Scotty V, and you are wrong. If you think Brandon Routh didn't do a good job portraying our Man of Steel in 2006's Superman Returns, well then, friend, you are wrong. Now, I'll agree with the upcoming Man of Steel. We were kind of looking for a more rugged, more manly, for lack of a better term, Superman, and I think we have that in our Henry Cavill. But I think Brandon Routh portrayed an excellent Bryan Singer version of Superman. What do I mean by this? Bryan Singer was going for a more tender, a smaller story, a story about emotions, a story about returning to lost loves, and I think for that purpose, Brandon Routh was perfect. He was soft-spoken. He didn't have much dialogue. It's been a big complaint among fans that Superman didn't actually have that much to say or do. But I will say, for my opinion, that he had plenty to do. The effects as Superman were spectacular, as I mentioned earlier. Oftentimes, it seemed like they added some flying effects after the fact, and you could tell that they were CGI. But the plane rescue sequence was one of the best superhero action pieces I've ever seen. I was in complete disbelief in a good way. I was of the belief that this Superman that had these powers and was able to stop a plane from crashing was actually doing this. It looked as real as it could look. I had absolutely no problem with the effects in that sequence, and I thought it was fantastic. I also thought that him flying through Metropolis and stopping explosions, turning upside down and I-beaming the rubble as it fell from the sky so it wouldn't hurt people below. Things that we just haven't seen before, and I think that in a lot of ways that's what Bryan Singer was going for, showing us some things that maybe we hadn't seen of Superman on screen, and I think in that he succeeded. I think that Brandon Routh played a Superman that we could kind of relate to. He was a guy who was missing being on his adopted planet, the planet that he decided to protect, but that he went away and that he felt bad for going away. We didn't really talk much about guilt in the movie, but I think he felt guilty for leaving Lois behind, and I think in leaving Lois behind, that also includes the entirety of Earth, the idea that he left humanity to go on a personal quest, which is a quest he had to take. He made him feel bad and made him feel it was an unfortunate thing, but he knew he had to do it. And I think Brandon portrayed that perfectly. You could tell in the scene with Jimmy in the bar that he was not sure how to reinstate himself in society, and he was not certain if he would be accepted. And I think that Brandon Routh played this perfectly. You could tell his emotions in many of the scenes. His scenes with Lois were strong, that he felt like a boyfriend who had missed out. He felt like he lost the love of his life to someone else, and that someone else was Richard. And while I'm at it, Richard was also a character I enjoyed. You would think that as a fan that I'd be angry that this Richard White, whoever the heck this is, took Lois Lane from Superman. I mean, technically he didn't. Superman was gone for 5 years and Lois moved on, and he was a nice guy. He was a helpful guy and turned out to be a hero himself. I think all of the situations that Bryan Singer and the actors presented in this movie made it for a much better film than what people give it credit for. It may not have been the Superman movie that everyone was hoping for, but it certainly had a lot of heart, and it was certainly something to be seen. So if you think that it wasn't, just remember, you are wrong.